Hey y'all, Shea Butter Chanel here. Um, I want to share with you a conversation that I had yesterday, and I don't have the time to labor on this one because I got work to do. But I just couldn't resist. I got to make this video. Y'all feel free to weigh in on this, but dig this. So, had a conversation with someone that's at least 18 years older than me. Okay, so they've lived. It's a man to be exact. Somebody I respect a great deal. Okay, this man has been married for, let me see, let me do the math, at least 30 years. At least 30 years. Has children, grown and gone. Okay. I gotta give y'all the context. This man has been in a very interesting marriage, to say the least, with someone who I remember. I remember when I was young, and they were considering marrying this person, and they were very upfront and said, "Hey, this is transactional. It just makes sense to marry. She's the mother of my child, this, that, and the third." And so, having this conversation, like, this is breaking stuff down to me. The conversation I used to have with this person as a teen, always kept it real with me. And I appreciate that. So here I am at this stage of my life. Somehow we were having a conversation this weekend, and I was, we were having discourse, if you will, about the plight of singles, being single in 2025. And I was just saying, like, it just doesn't make sense how complicated we make things, right? And I don't know how the conversation got on. I said, I don't ask for much. The one vice that I don't think I'd be able, I don't care how good the man might be in all other facets, but I don't know if I could live with somebody who actually smoked. And so this person was like, "What do you mean? Like, he's a good man and you would turn down a good man just because he smokes?" And I was like, "Yeah." I said, like, I can't see myself kissing a man that smokes. Like, and my mom was a smoker, and I was so irritated with that. But something about my crazy mom, may she rest in peace. She got to a point where, because she knew that I didn't like it, because it was just her in the house, and it was tumultuous, mind you. This last couple of years of me living in a house before I went to college. And she would drink around me, but she wouldn't smoke. Like, she would not smoke in the house, which was interesting. And so when I left her house, grown and gone as well, my mom would, when she wanted to smoke, she would always go outside of her apartment. She'd go out, take a smoke, come back in the house. Now, imagine, she gonna smoke in her house when I'm gone, but she always did that. And so, but for someone like at least for me, I'm one of the non-smokers who I'm very sensitive to cigarette smokes. Just, I don't like smoke, but people that smoke every day, all day, I feel like I can smell it on you. I don't care what you put on, what gum you choose, especially in your house. I'm going to always smell it, and I can't stand it. There are people who don't smoke, and they don't bother them not one iota. I am not one of them. I also told this person, I said, and I don't think I would have the right to ask somebody, because I wouldn't want you to smoke in the house, right? So I'm trying to imagine a place where someone pays bills, right? This is how would you feel somebody saying, "Oh, you got to go out your house to smoke your cigarettes"? You know what I'm saying? So I said, me and a person that smokes, it just wouldn't work out. It's just the one thing. And this person was like, my first baby mom, I don't know why, I just feel like I put my glass on because I'm squinting, smoked, and I didn't mind. And the woman I married, she smoked up until she quit a few years ago. And I didn't mind. Like, it wasn't no big deal. And I figure my needs are more important than my wants. And that was a want. And I needed to marry this woman so that I could have my family unit. I won't be somebody's baby dad. I could be present in a certain kind of capacity for the mother of my child and the children. And so imagine me not handling my business me not, being with her just because she smoked. And I said, well, that's you. I said, it is not the same. I am not, I don't have any children. If it was a case of, well, he's a good man and I be taking kids, I get it. You're a man doing something out of duty. You made that clear. That is not my plight. And he went on to say, he literally said this. He said, and I didn't begin, the woman he's been married to for at least 30 plus years. He said, and I didn't really start to really love her. I wasn't in love with her, I would say, until maybe up to 10 years ago. And when I tell you, that is the piece of steel that dropped on my foot and it swole. I said, all I could do, because what I've learned to do when having conversations with this person over years, when it gets to a point where the point being made, I'm in such disagreement. I used to debate and we would go back and forth for hours about stuff that we were both dogged in our positions. Like, you not moving, I'm not moving. And I just sat there, listened to my elder, and I was like, oh, okay. Didn't say a mumbling word. But when I mulled over, marinated, but I was betwixt, and I had so many thoughts. And so I'm going to share with you my thoughts. I said, oh my God. And this is in no order of importance, but this is just the way it's flowing out. I said, oh my gosh. I can't imagine. Yes, there is necessity, a need for singles. I don't like the fact that there are bona fide, qualified, if you will, singles that would be great matches, but we are over here just existing all by our lonesome. And yes, there is grace. God gives us grace to do what needs to be done as single people, but so many of us are being way too picky about some of the dumbest stuff. Or I think we are being lofty about who we can really match with, because I think social media gives us access to see people that are, quite frankly, way out of our league. And we need to, like, before social media, we were in love with what was local, what was considered fine local, what was the best thing you get locally. So I follow that mentality. I'm grounded in that way. And so I get that, but I said, what about the love aspect? I think what has changed and what is more applicable, like I got to chew the meat of what he said, but spit out a lot of fat. And the reality is that I think the longer I'm by myself, I do feel like, why I've been living with me in a smoke-free environment my entire life. I have not knowingly been with anybody that smoked anything on a regular basis, like a square, since I was 13. I had a boyfriend who ended up getting shot and killed when gun violence was really hot in Chicago. Bishop, he was starting to smoke cigarettes with his old fine self. It was tragic. I couldn't stand it. I was a kid, and so was he. I am very, very grown, and I just can't imagine being with somebody that smoked. Like, that's just not one of the things I'm willing to compromise. I don't think that's being picky. That's just me. And then furthermore, here's where I kept going with it as my mind kept picking away at what I did not say in the conversation. Because it's like, why waste my breath? He feels the way he feels. Then fine. You right in your own world. But I thought to myself, I said, now listen. I think a man, in my case, because that's what I'm interested in, I think a man, particularly a black man especially, That's my number one preference. But if you're a man in my age group and you choose to smoke, you still smoking at that age? To me, that says a lot about how you care about yourself. It really, really do. We have, every time you turn around, there's always some black male entertainer, who turned up dead. Didn't we just lose D'Angelo from some kind of cancer? It's always a lot of our very popular black males be dying like around their 50s. And I be like, dang. I said, and I think to myself, the combination of, the stress of being Black in America, coupled with, I think, the eating habits that are traditional within our culture compounds, and then it shows up in their weight, because most of the Black men I know, as they get older, they be walking around with these bellies. My goodness, today. And then you want to add smoking on top of it? Smoking? Anytime you read anything scientific, and y'all be like, oh, y'all think because you smoke weed. No, we are not chimneys. We are not made to release the toxins of smoke. And so by inhaling stuff, nicotine or whatever it is you want to smoke, those exacerbate any kind of underlying illness that you have. Why, pray tell, is anybody smoking in 2025? We are well aware of the dangers of it, but people doing it. But I think that's so unfair for me. I don't want to be with nobody that smoke. I just feel like that just says a lot about a man if he's smoking. And no, it's a no for me. It's a no for me. And then for him to say, like, again, for him, it was a myriad of need. I get it. There are a lot of things I be needing as a single woman, at a need. But I want to want you. And I want to be wanted. I want to be loved. Excuse me. And so, how sad is that for somebody to say they didn't start loving a wife of 30 plus years until up to 10 years ago? What? What? That's not the goal. And I think that since I'm in a place of choice, you know what I'm saying? I'm not carrying somebody's child. I don't have those kind of harnesses on my neck. Why would I settle for somebody marrying me out of duty? Because they feel like, yeah, let me go on and marry Shaniera because she faithful and she halfway decent, you know what I'm saying? And, she know how to cook a little something, and she made me laugh and everything. I think she ain't too bad. Let me, I done did my plan. Who want that? Listen, fellas, you ain't doing nobody no favors marrying them with that kind of mentality. That's truly, truly sad. That's truly sad. I don't want it. Anyway, I'm rambling. If I have a secondary point to make that's worth posting, I'll let you know. But that's fresh off the press, because that had me going. Yeah.